Fox News. Breaking news.
Code Pink activists just flew a charter plane full of American leftists to communist Cuba to protest President Trump's sanctions, calling his policies barbaric and inhumane. And there's just one massive problem they didn't count on. While they were sipping champagne in their five-star hotel with generators humming and the air conditioning blasting, ordinary Cuban citizens were plunged into complete darkness during the island's third blackout this month. 7 Cubans reportedly died in a hospital when their ventilators lost power, but Code Pink, they had electricity to paint a mural about humanity. Yes, you can't make this stuff up. And here's why this matters to every single one of you watching right now. These are the same people who lecture you about privilege, about compassion, about caring for the oppressed, but they fly down to a communist dictatorship on a charter flight, check into luxury accommodations that regular Cubans could never dream of affording, and have the audacity to call America the problem. This is the modern American left on full display, and they don't care about actual human suffering. They care about virtue signaling for their social media followers while Cuban families sit in sweltering darkness, unable to keep food cold or run medical equipment. Code Pink activists are posting selfies with their ring lights powered by hotel generators. This is who wants to reshape America. This is who calls Trump supporters heartless. And here's the kicker, folks. Cuba has over 1,000 political prisoners rotting in jail cells right now, including artists imprisoned simply for writing freedom songs. Code Pink said nothing. They're too busy enjoying the communist Disney World to notice the gulag right outside their window. And now, a word from our sponsor. You see, I've tried hundreds of supplements over the years. Nothing, and I mean nothing, has delivered results like C60 Evo. This Nobel Prize-winning molecule made lab animals live 90% longer, and now I know why. My brain fog gone, joint pain I've had for years virtually eliminated. My wife's skin looks 10 years younger. My energy levels feel like I'm 20 years younger. The molecule, 172 times more powerful than vitamin C and worth more than gold per ounce. Now, the scientists, they've been making this in their lab since 1991 in Houston. It's not just another antioxidant. It actually works at the cellular level, where aging actually happens. The Paris study showed the longest life extension in history. Now, my family is living proof that it works. Visit c60evo.com/NNN. Make sure you use code NNN for exclusive savings. Whether you want more energy, clearer thinking, better skin, or just to feel young again, this is your answer. c60evo.com/NNN. Use code NNN at checkout, because 90% longer life starts with one decision. Don't wait. Transform your health today. But here's what gets worse, folks. While Code Pink was down there painting their little mural about humanity and love, an Irish concert they attended sucked up so much electricity that it drained power from the entire neighborhood. A hospital nearby lost power to their ventilators, and 7 Cubans died. 7 people dead, so these American activists could enjoy a light show. And here's what Fox News contributor Mary Catherine Ham perfectly pointed out. They're down there streaming government-approved propaganda while the regime imprisons reggaeton artists for writing protest songs. Check this out. The Code Pink commies are sitting in darkness in Cuba thinking about their life decisions. Look at it.
Plane now getting ready to go to Havana, Cuba. We have this entire charter flight full of people, and as important, full of medicines. And we're so excited to be with the Cuban people and show our support, show our solidarity, and to say that this cruel, inhumane, barbaric policy of the Trump administration has to go.
Yeah, and you got to go in luxury in her charter jet. As Code Pink activists show solidarity aboard their flight to Havana, we'll now see how their luxurious stay contrasts with Cuba's struggle. Paul Zipula writes, Code Pink painted a mural in Cuba this weekend to celebrate humanity. They did this after flying down in a charter plane, staying in a 5-star hotel that had generators keeping the lights on while most of the island was in darkness from power outages.
I am helping to leave a gift and vision of humanidad. This is the mural for humanity, and it's going to have little boats with notes in it of love, and it will the words will go across all the way to the bird on the other side. There'll be fishes and sea life here, and it's from a poem with artists from all over the United States.
Yeah, that's how you support communism. You paint a mural. Code Pink, Hassan Piker, and other communist sympathizers reportedly staying at the Grand Hotel Bristol Millat Collection in Cuba, with generators running to give them power while there's a blackout on the island. Everything else is pitch black. Except, look at this. Everything down there is black, except for this hotel. Blackout, blackout, blackout. Oh, look at all the lights on in that fancy hotel. So you just witnessed the reality of murals painted by Code Pink in a darkened Cuba. Now let's hear a reaction from Brandon Straka on the lavish accommodations. He writes, Code Pink activists travel to Cuba to protest Trump-era sanctions while staying in luxury hotels with power during a national blackout. Check out this Fox report.
Anna over the weekend, allegedly staying in luxury five-star hotels as the island restores power from its third blackout this month. Here to react is Fox News contributor Mary Catherine Ham. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Why do you think they're doing this? Is this in protest of what President Trump has done, blocking the oil?
Well, it's hard to imagine anything more out of touch than influencers flying down some first class with their ring lights and their makeup to hang out in an impoverished country that is currently imprisoning, by the way, a reggaeton artist for writing a song, a protest song that went viral and was co-written with folks, Cuban Americans who are in America. That's the kind of person that the regime imprisons, and the libs are like, sign us up, let's go, we'll stay in a hotel. And by the way, is it a coincidence that the hotel has power so that you can stream the government's approved messages back to Cuban Americans and to Cubans there who are repressed? No, they're doing that for you. That's the regime's work.
That's the irony here. A lady was interviewed, and she's exiled from Cuba, lives here in America. She said, while nearly the entire country is suffering from power outages lasting over 20 hours, the left is welcomed with air conditioning and wasteful electricity consumption. So people here feel that way. Do you think that they're meeting with the president? What is their objective here?
Yeah. Their objective is to suck up to communists, I think. That is the objective. And if they were capable of being embarrassed, they would be, but I don't think they are. And unfortunately, the Cuban people will continue to suffer while they romanticize the nonsense that this regime perpetrates on them.
Mary.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. David Joe May says Code Pink and other leftists flew down to Cuba to protest Trump's sanctions, staying and they're partying at a fully powered five-star hotel. Here's the post-millennial. Representative Maria Salazar blasting Code Pink for their visit to Cuba. Cuba is the Disney World of communists.
Cuba's in your crosshairs every day.
Yes.
What did this visit accomplish?
Well, really nothing, and thank you for the opportunity. Code Pink, they're a bunch of useful fools. You know, it's so ironic that the same rights that they have in this country as Americans under our democratic system are the same rights that are denied to the Cubans. You have 1,000 Cubans in jail just for screaming freedom. But, you know, they don't want to, Code Pink does not want to be confused with the facts. They went to Disney World, which is, Cuba is the Disney World of communists. They stayed in a five-star hotel with electricity. They ate 3 times a day. I mean, they ate 3 times a day. And then they attended something that probably your audience doesn't know. They attended this concert by an Irish group, but the light show sucked all the energy, all the electricity in that neighborhood. And then there was a hospital nearby where 7 Cubans died because they were on ventilators. And since the hospital lost power, the people couldn't continue breathing. Wow. That's what Code Pink did.
Okay, here.
Unbelievable. Yeah, you'd think that they would maybe redirect some of the power to keep those people alive, but no, they were too busy partying. See, this is the moment of truth, America. Congresswoman Maria Salazar said it perfectly. Cuba is the Disney World of communists. Code Pink are nothing but useful fools for a brutal regime. They enjoy every freedom America offers, the freedom to travel, to protest, to speak their minds, and then they fly to a country where those exact freedoms will get you thrown in prison. They have 3 square meals a day in a nation where children go hungry. They had electricity while hospitals went dark. It's not activism. This is obscene privilege masquerading as compassion. The Trump administration's sanctions exist because the Cuban regime is a murderous dictatorship, and Code Pink just proved why those sanctions matter by showing exactly who benefits when they're lifted: communist elites and their American apologists. So here is your takeaway, folks. Never let the left lecture you about compassion again. Never let them tell you that conservatives don't care about people. We just watched Code Pink prove that their version of caring means luxury hotels with generators while the people they claim to support die in the dark. President Trump is right to maintain pressure on the Cuban regime. The sanctions aren't cruel. What's cruel is a system that keeps 11 million people in poverty while the communist elite live like kings and American leftists fly down there to join the party. Now, I want to hear from you in the comments. Should Code Pink be investigated for providing aid and comfort to a hostile communist regime? Yes or no? Drop your answer in the comments. And since you got this far, here's a free gift. Text raw feed to 844-840-4963. Bypass the algorithm, bypass the notifications that never arrive, and get the message directly from me to your cell phone when news drops. And make sure you hit that subscribe button and you hit the notification bell regardless so you never miss a report. And check out the Next News merch shelf below this video to show your support. I'm Gary Franchi for the Next News Network. Stay informed and stay free.
The system controls information. Information control is power.
They don't want you to see this.
The truth only survives together. They don't want this. Share this now.